So this is the leader of BLM, Black Lives Matter, New York, some type of chapter in New York, where she's going to be talking about the Jordan Neely Daniel Penny case. Daniel Penny got the charges thrown out. And so we're going to hopefully be able to sit through this nonsense that she's about to spit out. So let's check this out.
And if you look on social media, if you look at the hatred spewed across against us, against black people, against a man who was sick, because when there's a crisis of drugs in America, I'm sorry, it's only a crisis when it's a...
I'm sorry to stop it so quick, but why, when people do these type of things, they always group everybody against us, against black people? You don't speak for me. You don't speak for nobody that I know. You can recount it through your eyes for you and those you love and those that care about you and those that you care about. Quit speaking for everybody that just has a certain tint to their skin. That shit annoys me to no end.
A white person, an opioid crisis. Jordan was labeled a drug addict and labeled a crackhead. The only crime that Jordan Neely was guilty of was the color of his skin.
Come on.
But luckily for...
The only crime he was guilty of was the color of his skin. So, that being said, they say that so-called black folks make up 13% of the population, which I don't believe that. I believe we're more than 13%, but that's neither here nor there. So if that was the case, Miss BLM lady, it wouldn't be 13% like they say. It'd be like 1%, because they would have killed all of us, and the only 1% would be the rest of us hiding out. This is how ridiculous what you're saying is, just crazy.
For Daniel Penny, his skin was not like Jordan's, because you honestly wouldn't have seen our face. The NYPD would have arrested him after 3 hours. The justice system would have found him guilty. And shame on this jury, because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
And that's part of the problem that we have going on in this country. Is like, why is this lady angry? Why is this lady so angry? How many people were shot / deleted in Chicago last weekend? Week before that, this past fall, this past summer. But yet and still, y'all don't want to come out and speak about that, because it's not an issue of white folks killing black folks. It's the issue of black folks killing black folks. And that's all across every race spectrum. It's about proximity. And it's about being provincial. It's about, it just simply put, most people like to be around their kind. And because of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to be around people you have things in common with, for the most part. You know, you may not agree or think alike on every single subject, but for the most part, you probably have things in common with people that not necessarily even look like you, but people who may have grown up similar to you and probably chose to take on somewhat of a life path that you have taken. And there's nothing wrong with that. So therefore, black folks, most killings are done by black folks, by black folks. Same thing with white folks, same thing with any other community. But in the black community, the percentages are so high, it's beyond the crisis level. But then you get these Black Lives Matter, BLM, which they have no credibility whatsoever, because things come out later that they received all these hundreds of $millions by all these donations and by all these woke corporations. They end up buying mansions, and they moved out to the very suburbs, to the very people that they're so-called fighting against. How does that work? Where's your credibility at? So now Black Lives Matter is coming out trying to cause people to riot and saying that since they're calling Daniel Penny, the white guy that choked the black guy, which ultimately the black guy ended up dying, but it wasn't from him choking him alone. Yeah, he was a drug addict, a career criminal, arrested 41 times, blah, blah, blah. But we're not going to speak about those type of things. All these people are going to do is talk about a white guy choking a black guy, and as a part of that, the black guy didn't die right there. He died after he got to the hospital. So who knows? I'm still kind of on the fence about, I'm not going to celebrate the verdict getting thrown out or what have you. I'm not going to celebrate that this kid died. I still feel for his family and all this type of stuff. So I'm not coming out one way. What I'm coming down on is these hypocrites like BLM, these ambulance chasers, and they're coming out here and they're making this thing a race issue, because not too long ago there was a similar incident where a black guy choked another black guy and killed a black guy. And you see how I say that? Because that is not widely publicized. See, just like all these shootings in these Democrat-led inner cities that take place, hundreds of murders in these Democrat cities, but you don't see nothing about that. But as soon as it's a white guy, whether he's a police, whether he's a regular citizen, or what have you, these fucking clowns right here, like BLM, come out here, are angry, yelling, trying to cause riots and trying to get people to be vigilantes, which that's not really what they're saying. They're basically saying just go attack white folks if you're a black person. That's basically what they're saying. And then they come out here and they're just so angry, like their life has been so tough. Like they've never had to go through shadow slavery. They never had to do that. They ain't never had to pick cotton. These people never have to live through Jim Crow laws. These people never had to try to use the bathroom and say, nah, you got to use the one outside, out back. You can't use this nice one inside. These people never drunk or never have been told that you can't drink from this clean fountain. You got to drink from that fountain over there that's connected to the toilet, and every time it flushes, well, you know what might happen. The water might be brown and it might be chunky. But these people come out here like this, BLM and these people, they come out here like they have it so hard, and they always make it a racial issue. And these days, most of the time, it's just not a racial issue. It's these people like this that keep our country divided. I would venture to say that most people, and I'm going to give it a 99 percentile of people, and that's across the board, race, neutral, whatever. I guarantee you most people would like to go to work, come home, be with their families, and just have peace. I guarantee you 99.9% of people, that's what they want across all racial lines. But you got these assholes out here like this who is constantly dividing us and making us point fingers and making us take sides and all these type of things just because of the way that we look, which to me, I cannot wrap my head around it. I do not want to wrap my head around it. To me, it's insane. It is insane because nobody had a say in the way that they look, their skin color, and well, you know what, with all type of technologies and all that stuff. But I'm speaking, hopefully y'all follow me, I'm speaking just from a general standpoint. When you came out of the womb, you had no say so in what your skin was like, your hair was like, and all these type of things. But yet there's a certain sector of people that are being made to feel guilty just because of the color of their skin, and just because maybe their ancestors from 300-400 years ago probably owned slaves and all of that type of stuff. But that person that's standing in front of you right now that have white skin, they didn't have no slaves. They ain't own no slaves. I guarantee you today they wouldn't want to own no slaves if given the opportunity. But anyway, I can go on and on. I think I went way too long on this, but don't support BLM, and please don't support this racial idolatry and this division that these people are trying to cause. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and like the video. You can search Mr. Info 5000. You can follow. That would be great. If you're on YouTube, you can search Mr. Info space 5000 spelled out FIVETHOUSAND. Peace.